Alright, good day friends. My name is Kotosko. I'll be showing you some of my short thoughts on this video. Alright, now we're talking about to prep biology, the aspect of zoology. Now, first of all, what is zoology? Zoology is from two Greek words, or was coined from two Greek words. Zoo, which means animal life, and logos, which means study or knowledge. So therefore, uh, zoology is the study of animal life. So the study about animals is known as what? Zoology. Now the father of zoology is a scientist named Aristotle. So Aristotle is the father of zoology. All right, now having known the meaning for zoology, it will interest you to know some of the branches of zoology. So I'm going to talk about the branches of zoology. Now, zoology as a discipline is subdivided into numerous branches. So we have the one we call entomology. Entomology, which is the study of insects. We have parasitology, which is the study of parasites. We have hermetology, which is the study of worms. We have batrachology, which is the study of amphibians. The study of amphibians is known as batrachology. We have herpetology, which is the study of reptiles. We have mammalogy or mastology, which is the study of mammals. We have histology, which is the study of fishes. Right? There are other numerous branches of biology, of zoology to be precise. So I'm going to talk about now before we dive into zoology proper. It will be interesting to know that zoology is subdivided into two aspects majorly. Now, what are the two major aspects of zoology? We have the invertebrate invertebrate part of your zoology, and we equally have the vertebrate part of zoology. Now, before we dive into zoology proper, there are some important terminologies that should be you must get yourself acquainted with. Some of these terminologies is what I'll be talking about now. So, terminologies to understand zoology as a discipline proper. So, number one is there's what is called silon. So we have silon. So we have what is called coelomate. We have what is called acoelomate. We have what is called pseudocoelomate. So we have what is called triploblastic. We have diploblastic. Right? We have radial symmetry. We have bilateral symmetry. All right. Then we equally have what is called protostome as well as deuterostomes. So a very or a critical understanding of these terminologies will determine how far on zoology as a discipline. Now, starting with the first one, what is Ceylon? A coelom is otherwise known as body cavity. A coelom is otherwise known as what? Body cavity. So what is this coelom about? The coelom is a space in the body of most animals. Alright? Now this space is filled up with what is called the coelomic fluid. Now the coelomic fluid is found in certain animals. Not all animals have this coelom, this space, this body cavity, as well as the fluids accompanying the body cavity. So animals that have this coelom inside the space or the body cavity, uh, inside the space of the body cavity, such animals are called the coelomates. So we have a group of animals in zoology known as what? The coelomate. So when we say coelomate, they are animals that possesses the body cavity known as coelom together with what now? This what is called the coelomic fluid. So now we have another group of animals that lacks this coelom or body cavity. Now such animals are now referred to as what? Acoelomate. So the coelomates are the ones animals in zoology that have what now? The coelom. While the ones that lacks this body cavity are known as what? The acoelomate. Now we have what is called the pseudocoelomate. Now when you say pseudo, the word pseudo has to do with false. So there are some animals, they do not have this true coelom, but they have something that falsified that looks like the coelom. Hence, we call these animals the pseudo-coelomates. So these animals have false coelom, something that looks or resembles the coelom. So these animals are called the pseudo-coelomate. Then we have another term known as triploblastic. Now, to understand triploblastic and diploblastic very well, now the blastic has to do with the body layers, right? Now, in an embryo, if I tell embryology is one of the branches of zoology. So now, in an embryo, there's a certain stage in an embryo where the embryo has to differentiate into three body layers. Now, which of these three body layers are the ectoderm, the mesoderm, and the endoderm? So these are the three layers that embryos usually differentiate. Some embryo, not all, usually differentiate into. So the first layer is the what? The ectoderm. Ecto means outside. So this is the outer layer. Then the mesoderm is the middle layer. Then the endoderm forms the what? The inner layer of the embryo. Alright. Now, animals that have these three complete layers, that is the ectoderm, the mesoderm, as well as the endoderm, these three complete layers put together. So animals that have them, we call those animals triploblastic animals. Of course, tri means three. So triploblastic animals are animals whose embryo or animals that possesses three germ layers, which are the ectoderm, mesoderm, and what? The endoderm. So there are some other animals that have just only two of these layers. Now, such animals will now be referred to as what? The diploblastic animals. So diploblastic, di means two. So in this case, these animals have two layers. So of course, what are the two layers they will be having from these three? They will be having the ectoderm as well as the what? Endoderm. So while triploblastic animals have three germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, diploblastic animals have two layers, two germ layers, the ectoderm and the what? The endoderm. Now, even in some other animals, they now, apart from in some other animals that are also diploblastic, they now have another falsified middle layers, as we have among the nidarians or the coelenterate, where we now have what is known as the mesoglia. So the mesoglia is a false mesoderm, as it is in Indians. All right. So the next thing I'll be talking about is radial symmetry. First of all, what is a symmetry? A symmetry is a line of division that can cut through an organism such that it yields identical arms. So when an organism has a line that you can easily cut through such line to yield identical arms. So such organisms to yield identical arms, such organisms are referred to as what now? Are said to have symmetry. So what is a symmetry? It's a line that can cut through an organism to yield identical arms. All right. Now, organisms that have this line of division or this line of fission are now can either be radially symmetrical or bilaterally symmetrical. So the first thing is for the organism to have the line of what? Symmetry. And the second thing is the nature of the division. So if the organism splits from only one plane to yield identical arms, listen very well. When an organism splits from only one plane to yield identical arms, such an organism is said to be what? Bilaterally what? Symmetrical. But if it's possible to split an organism from different planes to yield identical arms, so the product is usually identical arms that are usually mirror images of each other. All right. So if we can split an organism from different planes to yield identical arms, then the organism is said to be what? Radially symmetrical, as it is among the coelenterates, the Cnidarians. All right. Now, an organism is bilaterally symmetrical when it can only be split from only one plane to yield identical arms. Then an organism is radially symmetrical when it can be split from several planes to yield identical arms also. All right. The next term is what? Protostome. Now the word protostome is from proto. Proto means first, and stome means mouth. Take note. So proto meaning first and stome means mouth. So what does that connote? It connotes first mouth. So what are protostome? They are animals during development of organs, during after embryogenesis down to what is called organogenesis, when organs begins to set in an embryo. Now there is in some animals the mouth set before the anus, while in some other animals the anus set before the what? The mouth. So animals protostome. Proto means first and stome means mouth. So protostome means that the mouth set or develop before the anus. While deuterostome means second, then stome means what? Mouth. So in this case, animals whose mouth is formed at the second position is known as what? Deuterostome. So in deuterostome, the anus is formed before